Hi, I usually don't do product reports or comparisons, but I recently bought a new AKG Perception 120 USB microphone and wanted to first research it on YouTube. What I found was that there were very few reports, and of the few that there were, only a couple were in English. So, I've decided to try and rectify this situation a bit. I'd like to do a little sound comparison between the AKG mic and the Blue Snowball. I'm presently using the AKG mic to make this video. Several months ago, I had the need to buy a decent quality mic in order to do some podcasting for my university, where I'm a teacher. The built-in mic on my laptop and my headset mic just didn't cut it and sounded pretty bad. I wanted to buy a USB studio microphone for about $100. I read a lot and decided on the Blue Snowball, and in fact got this for about $65 on Amazon. The problem is that I live in Russia and there are no Blue dealers here at all, so I ordered from the States and paid a lot for international priority mail, which would get this mic to me in 5 to 10 business days. After waiting 5 weeks, I just figured that the Russian Postal Service had lost the package or that one of the employees brought it home. This is really not an unfair assumption either. So I went out and ordered the AKG mic from a local music store with a 2-week delivery. In order to make this long story a bit shorter, the Blue mic finally did arrive after 7 weeks, about 1 week before my new AKG mic arrived. My point is that I didn't buy the AKG because I didn't like the Blue. In fact, if the Blue had arrived when it was supposed to, I would have been quite happy with it and would have had no reason to buy the AKG. I do have to say, though, that the AKG is in a higher league than the Blue Snowball. The price reflects this, going for about $149 on Amazon. The AKG Perception 120 USB microphone is a USB condenser mic. It is a side address mic with a cardioid pattern. It has 2 pad switches built in. One is a -20 dB pad switch for loud situations, and the other has something to do with bass reduction and also background reduction outdoors. It's not a small mic, but it seems very well made and solid. It comes with a desk stand, mount, and a 14-foot USB cable. Installation is a breeze, just as any USB component should be. I think that the sound quality is great and better than the Snowball. Additionally, I speak about 30 inches from the mic and the level is fantastic. It has a built-in pop filter which works well and a separate chip to convert from analog to digital, unlike the single chip solution used by almost all other USB mic makers. AKG is an Austrian company that has been making mics for over 60 years with a lot of well-known customers such as the BBC from its early days. I had about a week or so between the time that my Blue Snowball mic arrived and my AKG mic arrived, and I had the opportunity to make a couple of podcasts using the Blue Snowball. First, I need to say that I really liked the Snowball and was happy with the quality of the sound. I will say that you really need to be fairly close to the Snowball in order to get the correct levels, but it's not so close for pops if you don't have a pop filter. I felt that the stand was fine and the USB cord was not as long as the AKG, but long enough and heavy-duty looking. I'll hold on to the Blue for those occasions when I need the omnidirectional mode, such as speaking with guests, or even for a group call with Skype. But I have to say that the audio quality of the AKG is much better. All of the audio in this video is untouched and unprocessed. On the next slide, I'll be using the Blue Snowball so that you can compare the unretouched versions of both. Okay, here I'm recording with the Blue Snowball microphone. And as I said, I like it. I just prefer the AKG a little bit better. And I had a hard time finding a comparison, no comparison between AKG and the Blue Snowball on YouTube. The look of the Blue Snowball is very nice, but you know, I'm not like really one of these fanboys where I write about how the look looks great with my Mac and I'm using GarageBand. I'm not anti-Mac. I like Mac. I think they're good products. I just don't happen to use it. And I don't just go by the look of the thing. I use Camtasia Studio. That's how all of these things were made. For sound, I use Audacity or Reaper, and I think they're all good programs. So I'm hoping that maybe this demonstration of the sound quality between the two will help some of you. And if nothing else, it wasn't an anti-Blue Snowball video. It was a, hey, look at this AKG. There's very little about it on YouTube, so here something is. So thank you for listening to my little video, and goodbye.